Welcome back to Trading in Self-Isolation. I think the first one is that the volumes going through markets have been predictably very light. Going through the S&P futures, you've seen, 1.5 million contracts traded hands. About volumes going through the S&P itself, about 30% below the 30-day average, so pretty light. But we've got these kind of conflicting signals between various asset classes. We'll go through the prices in a moment. But I think you can make an argument that bubbling below the surface continues to be this idea of reflation playing through in various markets. But let's have a look at the boards and look at that argument there. Let's look at the close of the markets here and look at the argument for reflation. But there's also conflict across the various markets. So look at the S&P down 1%. NASDAQ up 1.1%. So good buying in Amazon, Tesla, Netflix, those kind of names. But then you've got small caps down 2.8%. Let's look at these break-even levels here. You can see, look at average inflation over the coming 5 years, up 5 basis points to 92. See how this performs on the daily chart, which I think gives good perspective. You come up from about 11 basis points going into sort of the latter stages of March, going into where we are now, 92. Can we break into 1%? Can we try and test the 50-day at 107? That will something be good, but certainly if you see inflation expectations moving higher, we immediately look at commodity markets, see how they're trading. Copper up 2.6%, you've got lumber up 3.6%. We've seen a lot of flow playing through in the gold markets there, but look at spot gold, 17.15, that's broken out. I haven't got a chart here, but certainly that would be looking pretty good right now. Gold futures up 0.6%. Then you have a look at what's going on in the ETF space, or certainly in the credit markets here. You've got HY ETF down 1.4%, investment grade down 1%, not really getting infused by what they've been seeing in this sort of whole risk malaise. Then you go into FX markets. Aussie dollar working quite nicely. There's a momentum play, but perhaps taking that reflation on as well and taking some of those commodity market moves. The CAD doing quite well, but then you've got the yen, the best performer. And at the bottom of the pile, you've got selling coming through in the Brazilian real and Mex peso as well. In terms of the leads, of course, didn't have the SPY open overnight. We've got to take the S&P futures, which is this white line. Look at the move since Friday close, where we closed Asia. You know, we saw S&P futures trading around these kind of current levels, up about 0.8% since then. So one suspects that we're going to have a modestly positive open playing through in the Australian market.